When you think of a user manual, you probably picture a boring little booklet you toss in a drawer. But today, we're looking at something different. This is a maintenance manual for a BMW motorcycle, and trust me, it's way more than just instructions. If you read between the lines, you'll find a whole philosophy about what it means to own something, who's really in control, and yeah, maybe even the soul of the machine itself.
I mean, just look at this. Right out of the gate, it hits you with this incredible seriousness. Risk of fatal accident. That's not a friendly tip. That's a dire warning. It immediately tells you that this isn't just a toy. This is a complex, potentially dangerous piece of engineering, and your relationship with it is going to be governed by some very, very serious rules.
And that tone, it's completely intentional. See, to really get this machine, you have to understand the laws laid down by the people who made it. This manual, it's basically their gospel. It defines everything, not just how to fix the bike, but how you're supposed to think about it. It sets up a whole system, a language you have to learn if you want to be in the club.
And that language is so specific. It's not just a wall of text. Every single instruction is coded with these symbols. A warning symbol, that's about life and death, literally. The attention symbol, well, that's about the health of the motorcycle. And maybe more importantly, the health of your warranty. Then you have a note for the smaller stuff. It creates this almost legal framework for every single thing you do.
And inside that framework, you find what are basically commandments. These are not suggestions. They are the core rules of the faith. First, you will only use genuine BMW parts. Second, if you ignore the instructions, your warranty could be toast. And the big one? Do not, under any circumstances, mess with the bike's electronic brain, the Motronic unit. So right from the start, what this all means is that BMW has total authority over the machine, even long after you've paid for it.
So what does this all look like in practice? Let's take what should be a pretty simple job, just removing the front wheel. This is the perfect example. It's not just a task, it's a ritual that shows you just how precise, how exacting this whole process is meant to be. At a glance, this seems easy enough, right? Put it on the stand, undo a few screws, pull out the axle, and pop the wheel off. Simple. The manual lays it out logically, and you're probably thinking, yeah, I could do that. It makes you feel empowered. But, as always, the real story is in the details.
And here come those details. This is where the manual goes from being a guide to being almost fanatical. It's not just make the screw tight, oh no. It is tighten the front axle screw to exactly 30 Newton meters. The rear wheel is even more intense. You have to preload it to 50 and then do a final tightening to a whopping 105 Newton meters. These aren't suggestions. They're absolute, non-negotiable numbers.
And then, after all that, you get to the punchline. After pages of these super specific instructions, after you've gone out and bought a special torque wrench and followed every single step perfectly, the manual hits you with this. It says, even though you did the work, you can't actually trust your own work. The final blessing, the final sign-off, has to come from an authorized dealer. It's an incredible twist.
Okay, so it's not just about the nuts and bolts. The manual is also this dense encyclopedia of data, and all this information reinforces the same idea. This is not just a motorcycle. It's a complex system that you can only understand through their numbers and their schedules, which all point you back in one direction.
This schedule, this is the real rhythm of owning a BMW. Buying the bike is just the first step. After that, you're on a lifelong plan. There's a check at 1,000 kilometers, a service at 10,000, an inspection at 20,000, and on and on. It basically creates this never-ending, predictable relationship between you and the dealership. And the manual is just packed with technical data like this. But check out that last line. Maximum oil consumption, 1 liter per 1,000 kilometers. Now that is fascinating. By putting that number in black and white, BMW is setting the terms. They are defining what counts as normal and what counts as a problem. Pretty much managing your expectations before you even think about making a warranty claim.
You see this phrase, or something like it, over and over again. Sure, you can check a fuse. You can swap out a light bulb. But the moment something gets more serious, the manual has one answer. It acts like a funnel. It gives you a little bit of troubleshooting help, but it always guides you away from tackling big problems yourself and points you right back to their official experts.
So all of this leads to this central conflict, this dilemma for the owner. Are you really being given the freedom to look after your own machine, or are you just being asked to swear loyalty, fealty, to the brand that built it?
And this is where that dilemma gets really clear. On one side, the manual tells you, sure, change a bulb, check the fuses, do some basic cleaning. It gives you this feeling of control. But on the other side, for anything that really matters, brake pads, torque settings, any serious fault, it pushes you back to the pros. You're given just enough power to feel involved, but you're stopped at a very clear, very carefully drawn line.
Which leaves us with this final question. Is all of this incredible precision, this almost obsessive control, really just about keeping you safe, about avoiding that risk of fatal accident? Or is it also about making sure you, the owner, never really truly leave the BMW ecosystem of parts, service, and expertise? The manual won't tell you the answer, but it definitely makes you think.